Are you feeling well?
I am,
when
mate,
you
I am
arrived
now.
in the office, did it feel a little bit?
Yes, I am. I'm ready. Watching the game last night. What's the first half? That delay killed me, by the way.
Yeah.
I was like, no, 10 o'clock start. You killed me. I'm ready for bed. What's the first half? And I felt that the team, yes, Costa Rica, poor. I think there's better power league teams than Costa Rica.
Yeah.
But Bellingham, I thought was a standout player that first half. I felt like he had that.
Yes, I agree with you.
He had that bite about him. The first second of the game, ball goes back to Costa Rica, left back. Bellingham's there, presses him, concedes a throw-in. But that set the tempo of his performance. He wanted to get on the ball. That was the sort of performance from Bellingham of like, I'm the number 10.
Yeah.
I'm starting.
This is my role.
I'm going to be the player of the tournament. I'm going to be the player that wins the World Cup for this country. That was that sort of like intent that he had of like, I'm not here to mess around. Stop trying to say that I might not start. I'm starting against Croatia. That's what I felt from his start to the game.
Yeah. Let's talk about the game in great detail, but I should remind you, like, I'm sure you're aware, over the next 6 weeks, there's going to be, get this, a whopping 104 games, and every single one of them will be live right here on talkSPORT. Now, as Gab was just alluding to, last night England did their best to get us in the mood with a 3-0 win over Costa Rica, and Thomas Tuchel said it was exactly what we needed.
Very good match today. Very good energy, intensity on highest level, counter-pressing on highest level, and on the ball, off the ball. Very good team performance from everyone, from the guys who started, from the guys who finished the match. So it was exactly what we wished for, and was the next step that we wanted. And congratulations to everyone. It was well done.
From what I learned from the game, right?
Yep.
I think Harry Kane, he was dropping deep for most of it. I quite liked it. There was one bit towards the end of the second half where he picked up the ball in his own area, smashed it out wide. I think it was to Noni Madueke, who went down the wing, crossed it, or he had a shot. But even though the shot went over the bar, Kane was in the area. It's almost like he was playing a long one. So a lot of people have got a problem with Harry Kane dropping so deep. But I think him, as proved last night, Bellingham, you mentioned Declan Rice, so key to England's success.
Yeah, but I think what happens though is when Harry Kane does drop off deep, that should say to Bellingham or Rodgers, whoever's playing at number 10, you go, get in that box, because maybe last night at times Harry Kane did make up the distance, but when you're playing those bigger pitches, it can be a big distance to make up for him to get in the box if he's dropping off deep and pinging balls. But if he mixes it up, there's no problem. It's when like the last tournament, the Euros, I know he was injured maybe, he couldn't get into the box, but we don't want him playing centre midfield.
No, we don't. We don't.
You know, because even last night, it was getting crowded first half. You know, you had Anderson in there. You had Bellingham trying to find space at times. Declan Rice. You don't need him there.
No.
Sometimes you just need him in the box when teams are playing everyone.
That was my worry. That I love Harry Kane playing the quarterback role, but why isn't there another player that can play that and leave him up top?
There is. Because what Harry Kane can do, I get it. Anderson, Rice, Bellingham can't pass a ball like him. No. But they can pass the ball. We're not acting like these players can't ping a diag. They can't wrap it into other people's feet. Anderson's very good at it, always looking forward. So really, you don't need him doing it. I get it maybe against your top teams when you want an extra man in midfield, you end up with 4 in there and it causes defenders issues. Do they go Harry Kane? Do they not? It might add space for a Gordon or Rashford running in behind because one centre-half has come with Harry Kane. But as long as he mixes it up, I don't think anyone's got any problem. And the manager will want him to mix it up.
Yeah, I hope
won't
so.
like him just staying deep.
Yeah. What did we learn from last night? The reason I asked that is I was watching and I've said England from a long, long time ago, maybe towards the end of qualifying, I thought England have got enough to win it, right?
Yes.
If Kane, Bellingham, the spine, and Declan Rice stays fit. I looked at the wingers, not necessarily at the left, because I think Rashford or Gordon are good enough. Either one of them I'll be happy with. But Noni Madueke's there to fill in for Saka. Saka isn't going to be fit, or isn't going to be fit enough. Just, you take it around the goalkeeper and you've got an open goal and it's crying out for you to hit it with your right and you hit it with your left. Yeah. I worry that a mistake like that in a nothing game, it doesn't matter to me, I don't care. Yes. But what it did show me is why hasn't he got enough composure to slot that home?
Yeah,
that's a worry.
I would use my weaker foot there. If that's the opposite side for me, I was always confident on my weaker foot just to use it. But Rodgers misses a chance as well where you go through 1v1 and he hits it to the side of the keeper. We've got to be clinical, because those sort of chances might be the only chances you get in a knockout game against the big boys if you're playing Portugal or Brazil. But I still look at it and say, who's the 2 centre-halves that he's going to start? because Gahey didn't start last night.
No.
I look at Reece James, guaranteed. I look at O'Reilly, guaranteed. Look at the midfield three now.
Sorts itself out.
You'd think Bellingham would start with Anderson and Rice. Gordon and Rashford is still hard to call. Who starts on the left-hand side? Will Saka be fit for the first game? We don't know. But I don't know, because he likes Stones, mate. And Stones looked good last night because you're playing against nothing.
But he's played like 9 minutes.
Yeah, I want to see Stones. I would have loved the game building up to the World Cup where Stones playing against a proper centre forward or a proper winger who's running behind him. Because when I watched him last season, he has struggled. He's looked a lot slower. He's never been rapid, but he looks like he's lost a yard as well. So that'll be interesting. So we're still on our toes of like the actual starting 11 against Croatia.
What he did underline as well for me last night is, without a shadow of a doubt, the England number 2 for the number 9 position is Ollie Watkins, without a shadow of a doubt.
100%, yeah.
I thought, even though it was New Zealand, I think I thought Ivan Toney looked off it. He looked slow.
Yeah. Rightly so, though.
Yeah, you're playing in a league like that.
It in the Saudi league, of course, but
there's no way you can be up to
speed. You would get double figures in the Saudi league. I've seen your goal in the soccer aid.
Oh, the goal of the century.
I've seen that, mate.
It's unbelievable goal.
Score in the Saudi league.
Goal.
But Watkins' form to the end of the season was frightening. And he's the sort of player you want on. You know, when like maybe you're struggling in the game, and Harry Kane can drop off deep, and maybe you sacrifice a number 10.
Yeah.
And you say, Watkins, you stay up, running behind, and Harry Kane gets on the ball. So, yeah. We learned a little bit more of like what the starting lineup will be, but not 100%. But I think last night, the standout player that first half, he was getting on the ball, making things happen. Gordon done very well, but it looks so easy.
It did look easy.
So it's hard.
A little jinking run for the pass to Rice.
It's hard to overpraise them.
Yeah, of course.
When you're playing Costa Rica.
Yeah.
They were professional and done the job.
We've come out of 2 games unscathed.
Exactly, no injuries.
And that's the main thing, right? Yes. Out there in Orlando, for us, was our voice of live football, Adrian Durham, and chief commentator Jim Proudfoot.
It was a joy to watch. I really enjoyed watching England today. I've actually been feeling more positive about their chances of winning the World Cup since I got out here. Even the New Zealand game, which wasn't a great spectacle, made me feel more positive. The squad he's picked, the way he talks, I'm feeling positive. And this performance really underlined it in bold letters as well. England were dynamic. They were attacking. Sure, they were taking on a terrible side, truly awful side. But I just really loved the way England played. Bellingham was sensational, I thought. And Harry Kane, both of those top marks in my marks out of 10 for the England team on talkSPORT.com.
And one of the other comments that Thomas Tuchel had made before the game started was about the need for starters, but for closers as well. And we kind of seen a little insight into what his plans are going to be for the tournament itself with the changes that he made, particularly bringing the likes of Rodgers and Rashford.
Yeah, I'm a big Rashford fan, and I think he could be a massive weapon for England at this World Cup. And I was thinking he was going to start, and now I'm thinking, well, Gordon does well defensively. He's very threatening going forward. If he controlled that world-class pass from Kane just before half-time, that's 2-0 just going in at the break. So he's got to do a little bit better. He's got to improve. But I could see Anthony Gordon starting and Rashford's pace being brought off the bench. I thought Morgan Rogers was sensational. It's kind of breaking my heart a little bit that you can't have Rogers and Bellingham in the same Tuchel side. I would love to see that. And maybe at some points in certain games we will see that. Watkins got his goal. So much to love from the subs today.
They look like a bad version of the Blues Brothers there, didn't they? If you're watching that without sound. Right, let's continue the build-up with a man who has had many fallings out with Gabby this season, but surely we're all friends now. We're getting on. We're all behind England. Live from LA's presenter and content creator, the wonderful Joel Beya joins us now. Joel, good morning to you.
Good morning, Joel.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And listen, I think we can be friends now.
Let's get over it, mate. I think it's all right. We go back to war in August, mate, when the season starts. Of
course.
We're friends now, Joel.
I spoke to HR and they didn't get back to me over the shirts. So I think you're good for now.
Is it all forgotten? Can we move on?
Let's move
forward. Are we good now, Joel?
Yeah, we're good, man. Let's support England together. Come on,
that, Joel. Love it, mate. What a good guy.
Right, I mentioned you're out in LA. What is World Cup fever out there in LA like at the moment, Joel?
Well, it's different because I'm in Beverly Hills, mate. Ooh. It's all pools and palm trees and stuff like that.
But doesn't look it.
Well, yeah, no, trust me, it is, man. I'm at my little hut at the moment.
Oh, okay.
We've got, I'll take it. I'll show you. I'll send you a video tomorrow. But when you go down to like the more central bits, right? It is buzzing. Like everybody's got like different shirts, and it's really weird. But then at the same time, they'll talk about football and they're talking about the NBA finals, even though their team's not involved in it. So it's not like Qatar. Like, in Qatar, you could do like 2-3 stadiums in one day, and everything just felt like this. in this one, you've got to take an Uber, which will probably cost you like $45, just to get into the midst of things. And that's where you go find the football fans.
The Wi-Fi in Beverly Hills.
Good.
It's always been a nightmare, mate.
No, it looks like he's in the basement, that's why. Should be doing it by Paul's side. Why have you got a zip up on? I'm told the weather out there is so hot.
Do you know what? Yeah, I just didn't want to wear this underneath. I was just being a little bit picky.
What's that?
What is it?
It is hot. It really is hot. Oh, it's just a t-shirt, but I didn't want to wear this particular t-shirt, so I thought, let me wear a little cardigan instead. I'm going to be taking it off as soon as I'm off the radio, mate. Don't you worry about that.
Joel, how are you feeling about last night's game? I know you would have watched it and the performances. I thought Bellingham stood out in that first half. That was a sort of performance to say, stop with all the nonsense. I'm starting against Croatia.
I mean, 100%, Gabby. I don't even know why there's any doubt. That's a world-class player over there, and massive respect to Morgan Rogers. I thought he did really well, if I'm honest. But if you're asking me, my starting number 10, it has to be Jude Bellingham. You're looking at a La Liga winner, a Champions League winner, the guy that's got the cojones to really take England all the way. Yep. I thought Morgan Rogers was good, but I still could see he was a little bit nervous, missing a few chances here and there. Not saying that's going to be the case when the tournament starts, but Jude Bellingham's the boss, man, and that needs to be made clear. I think
as well, look at some of the other countries. Sorry, Andy. There's going to be top players on the bench. Look at France. You could have Barcola, you could have Doué, you could have Shirky on the bench. So they will get their time. They will get their minutes. No, I'm saying I'm on about Rodgers being on the bench. I mean, you can have top players like Rodgers on the bench that comes on, affects the game. With this heat as well, you're going to need the whole squad, aren't you?
100%. You can see that the heat was affected him, especially in the beginning. I mean, that's where I have to say, guys, that's where I think Cole Palmer should have been on this plane. Yeah. Even if it's 15 minutes, you have to get that guy on the plane, man. That's the big decision where with the others, you can kind of argue a little bit, but when it comes to Cole Palmer, we need that magic. Look at Brazil. Look at Carlo Ancelotti. He's taking Neymar, even though we know Neymar probably won't give him 90 minutes. But it's Neymar. He's got magical moments. Now, I'm not saying Cole Palmer is the same as Neymar. Watchers, I'm not saying that at all. But that's a player that can produce magic. And I'm a little bit worried that we don't have it, especially if you don't have a 100% fit Saka. Yeah. You don't... Yes, you've got Jude Bellingham. But besides Harry Kane, who's going to drop a lot, who's going to create the magic for you?
Joe, I was going to ask you about Saka not being there. He obviously needs minutes, and players that played for England out on the right in the last tournament aren't there. You mentioned Cole Palmer, Phil Foden being another one. I wasn't impressed when I saw Madueke's name in the squad. I saw him last night. An open goal, he decided to take a shot with the wrong foot as well. Is that a worry? Because he obviously needs to step up. You've seen him, obviously, for Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I like what Madueke has done in terms of he's been able to push Saka in the Arsenal team. Personally, I would have probably gone Bowen, instead of Madueke, or I would have just made sure that Cole Palmer got in the team. If Madueke is going to be there, he's probably going to be there because he's also a good sub. Now, when Tommy T is looking at this team, he's going, who's not going to cause me issues when they're not playing?
Yes.
And because he's used to that relationship with Saka and he's used to being in and around the squad, that is also a bonus of having him there. But when it comes to that chance, you got to be scoring them, mate. You cannot be missing them. I don't care if you took it with the wrong foot. That is your moment to shine.
Yes. Yeah.
You expect me to miss that, not him.
Yeah.
Not him.
Joel, listen, always a pleasure. Go and take the cardigan off.
You're good at this, Joel. You're good at it, mate. Keep it up, pal.
I will. Thank you. I'll see you guys next time. I'll be outside the hut, mate. Yeah.
Is that a PSG shirt?
Why you got PSG? Oh no. People watching might be able to see it. Why you got PSG shirt on? That's terrible.
Not a PSG shirt.
Yeah, it is PSG. We can see PSG clearly there, Joel. That's unbelievable.
What a guy.
Joel, have a good day.
Guys, have a good one.
Cheers,
guys.